Hey everyone, how you doing? My classmates and I, Joshua, are going to show you a video presentation in which we will explain what Japanglish is. This presentation was also displayed in a class for the Josefina Conte Institute's teacher training course for the subject English Language 2 in collaboration with ICT in Education. Before telling you what Japanglish is, we would like to give you an introduction about Japan's geographic location and culture. So, Japan is an island country lying off the east coast of Asia. It consists of a great string of islands in a northeast-southwest arc that stretches through the western North Pacific Ocean. Nearly the entire land area is taken up by the country's four main islands. From north to south, these are Hokkaido, Honshu, Shikoku, and Kyushu. The national capital, Tokyo, in east-central Honshu, is one of the world's most populous cities. Culture and influences. It is common for Western observers of contemporary Japan to emphasize its great economic achievement without equal regard to cultural attributes. Yet Japanese cultural distinctiveness and the manner in which it developed are instructive in understanding how it is that Japan came to be the first non-Western country to attain great power status. The Japanese long have been intensely aware of and have responded with great curiosity to powerful outside influences. First from the Asian mainland, like China, and more recently from the Western world. Japan has followed a cycle of selectively absorbing foreign cultural values and institutions, and then adapting these. Thus, outside influences were assimilated, but the basic sense of Japaneseness was unaffected. For example, Buddhist deities were adopted into the Shinto pantheon.
Hi, I'm Florencia Sanchez. Prehistoric Japanese culture was exposed to ancient Chinese cultural influences beginning 2 millennia ago. Some consequences of these influences are Chinese writing and many other Chinese developments were introduced in the early centuries. The writing system went through many modifications over the time since it did not fit the Japanese language. Buddhism, which originated in India, went through modification in Central Asia, China, and Korea before reaching Japan about the 6th century, with a profound influence on Japanese cultural life, although over the course of the time it was modified profoundly from its past forms. Similarly, Chinese urban design was introduced in the layouts of the ancient capital cities of Nara and Kyoto. Modernization was accompanied by cultural changes. Western music generally is more common than traditional Japanese music in many social settings. Although Japanese Christians form a tiny percentage of the population, Christmas and other holidays are widely celebrated. The use of Western dress among the Japanese, in place of the traditional kimono, long ago became commonplace, although women may wear formal kimonos at certain celebrations, and both men and women may use casual styles for homewear.
Hi, I am Noelia and I'm going to talk about the contrast between old and new in the Japanese culture. Complexity and contrast are the keynotes of life in Japan, a country possessing an intricate and ancient cultural tradition, yet one that, since 1950, has emerged as one of the world's most economically and technologically advanced societies. Heavy emphasis is placed on education, and Japan is one of the world's most literate countries. Tension between old and new is apparent in all phases of Japanese life. Japanese cities are a jumbled mixture of old and new, east and west. Mixed land use, including agricultural activity, can be found side by side with the most modernized business centers and industrial establishments, skyscrapers, subways, and underground plazas. Now we're going to see a short video about this.
Hi, I know I'm 8 hours ahead of you and you're probably asleep anyway, but I just wanted to leave a message and say how amazing this city is. Tokyo really is a city of contrasts. Amazing culture, amazing characters. I just can't get over it. All these incredible gardens, you just kind of wander through them. I've craned my neck up countless skyscrapers and seen views across all of Tokyo. I was also lucky enough to go to Japanese theatre. Everything is so sacred and so perfected. It's mesmerising, really. And the food and drink, well, that's the best thing about Tokyo. I've also had this richly satisfying ramen. They cook this broth down for hours and hours and hours, and really meticulously crafted tempura and wagyu beef. It was just delicious. Real wasabi and Japanese craft beers like nothing I've ever tasted at home. And the galleries, you've got these really traditional ones versus all these really futuristic places. I could go on and on and on. There's just so much to see and do here. Tokyo really is a city that you have to experience. Seeing it just isn't enough.
Japanese cuisine is well known and appreciated globally for its precision, highly detailed technique, and unique presentation. Each region in Japan has its own variety of specialty dishes with ingredients that are carefully selected to complement individual flavor. Rice has been an essential food and source of nutrition for millennia, and has been used to make various products such as rice cakes and condiments. Temples and shrines offer accommodation to visitors and serve traditional vegetarian food. Many temples offer a course of meditation. In the past, temple lodgings were only for monks engaged in disciplined practices. However, Buddhist temples these days are open to tourists regardless of their beliefs. This is why religious tourism and the hospitality that temples give is a popular choice among overseas visitors. The geisha are considered living custodians of Japanese culture and one of the known symbols of Japan. In essence, they are performing artists, adept at playing a range of musical instruments, traditional dance, and mannered conversation. Tea ceremony. This is matcha, a powdered green tea. The ceremony is to form a bond between host and guest that demonstrates the spirit of generosity and respect. The Japanese tea ceremony is a long-standing tradition, the refreshing brew first being introduced during the 9th century. Its initial use was for religious rituals in Buddhist monasteries, going on to become a status symbol for the well-off and military officials. Traditional performing arts. No or Nogaku is one of the oldest surviving and regularly performed traditional Japanese theaters, which has two types, realistic no and fantasy no. The music, dance, and drama all originated in the 14th century. Many years ago, all no players were men, but lately there have been a growing number of female players. Then we have kabuki. Ka signifying song, bu dance, and ki skill. Kabuki has derived most of its material from the Noh theater. The main audience are townspeople and farmers. It is one of the three major classical styles in Japan. Originally, the cast were performers of both sexes, male and female, but later all parts were played by men, and this tradition continues up to the present day. Japanese fashion has influenced the global world of style. It has inspired futuristic, avant-garde, and the exotic in all parts of the world. From the traditional kimono, street fashion, or luxury brands, the Japanese have created their own unique designs. Anime and manga. Manga are comic books with pictures and drawings of characters depicting a storyline that has differing genres for every age group. Anime is a moving picture or cartoon with stories based mostly on manga but has better production values and more detail. Famous animes such as Pokémon, Naruto, to name but a few, have become a global phenomenon with a huge following. The term cosplay was invented by a Japanese reporter, and it is a mixture of the words costume and play. Although cosplay did not start in Japan, it has influenced ordinary folk to dress up as a character from film, television, book, or video game, or from the Japanese genres of manga or anime. The concept of maid cafe is influenced by the locals' obsession with manga and anime. The waitresses dress up in maid costumes, serving customers and calling them master.
Hi, I'm Andy. I'm going to talk about Japanese origins. Japanese is the national language. At first, Japanese had not written form until the introduction of Chinese written system and Chinese literature about the 4th century. So Chinese characters were used to write Japanese. By the 9th century, two syllabaries known collectively as kana were developed from them. Since then, a combination of kanji and kana has been used to write Japanese. So, Japanese have three ways of writing. The first one is kanji. Kanjis are the Chinese characters and they are symbols that carry meaning, so they are content words such as nouns, adjectives, verb, adverbs. Then they have two syllabaries, which are katakana and hiragana. The difference between them is that hiragana is used for native words from Japan, and katakana is used for foreign words. For example, our names or country names are going to be written with katakana.
Hello, I'm Nuna, and I'm going to talk about Japanglish. Borrowing words from other languages is a phenomenon as old as language itself. That's why, even though you probably don't speak French, Latin, German, Spanish, and Japanese, you can somehow understand the following primary sentence. I decided to carpe diem and go to a fiesta instead of taking a siesta, but the party was just déjà vu all over again. So I spent most of the time eating sauerkraut and wishing a tsunami would come and sweep me out to the sea. As you may know, modern Japanese is stuffed not only with Chinese origin loanwords, but also a hearty helping of gai raigo, which means loanwords from languages other than Chinese, ranging from English to Dutch to French. So what does wasei ego refers to? It refers to words quite literally manufactured in Japan. This means that they are brand spanking new morpheme and phoneme combinations that no native English speaker has ever heard or used.
Thank you for watching this video. We hope you liked it. And maybe see you in another video. Bye bye.